right, the court is calling cause number 2018 DCM 0281. This is a hearing on a motion to modify and to confirm child support arrearage. This motion was filed by the Attorney General's office. This hearing is scheduled for today, September 10th at 9 o'clock. Parties in this case are Sergio Gutierrez and Karina Gasca. Both parties have appeared in the court. And we're doing this hearing on the basis of a Zoom application. Since according to the pandemic crisis that's going on, we cannot appear in court. However, the Supreme Court of the State of Texas and the Office of Court Administration and the local council of judges have permitted courts to conduct remote hearings due to the pandemic. And we're doing so based on this Zoom application. Parties have appeared and are on the record at this time. I will advise parties that pursuant to local rules and to the Texas Supreme Court rules, this matter is being live streamed through the YouTube channel. That is to comply with the rules that we have to keep all courts open to the public. However, that live stream, as soon as we finish this hearing, will be taken off the live stream and will no longer be available on the live stream YouTube channel. I am recording the evidence on, in this case, on the computer system. And this is the only official recording of this hearing here today. I'll ask parties to conduct themselves as if they were in court, because you are in fact in court before me. I'll ask parties not to talk over each other, because as you just saw right now, sometimes there might be a computer glitch, and if people are talking at the same time, the audio may not work. So at this time, I'll ask the Assistant Attorney General to make an announcement on this matter. Ms. Kaplan?
Lindsay Kaplan for the state, Your Honor, ready?
All right. Mr. Gutierrez, are you ready to proceed today, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Gasca, are you ready to proceed today?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right, I'll ask both parties to please raise your right hand so I can swear you in. Ms. Gasca, I can't see you, so I am assuming that you are raising your right hand. Do you and each of you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Both parties answered in the affirmative. As indicated, this is a motion to modify and to confirm child support arrearage. Ms. Kaplan, go ahead, present your case.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, the state requests that the court take judicial notice of the prior order in this case, which is the order in suit affecting the parent-child relationship that was signed by the court on March 1st of 2018. The state further requests that the court take notice also of the non-disclosure finding that is contained within that order as well.
All right, I do see that there was a court order that was issued in March of 2018. It is filed with the clerk's office. That order does appear to be in proper form. Therefore, the court will take judicial notice of the March 2018 court order. Go ahead, Ms. Kaplan.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state offers the financial activity report into evidence at this time.
Okay.
May I email it to the court?
Yes, go ahead and e-file it to the court. However, for the purpose of today's hearing, I know that the financial report was attached to the motion, and parties were served with a copy of the petition. So for the time being, I'll take judicial notice of the updated financial report. All right, go ahead, Ms. Kaplan.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls Ms. Gasca.
All right, go ahead. She has been sworn in.
Ma'am, what is your name?
Karina Ruby Gasca.
And how is your child insured?
He has Medicaid.
And at the time of the last order in 2018, what type of insurance did your child have?
He had Medicaid as well as Sergio Gutierrez's, he said he was going to get insurance for him from his job as well.
And was your child on insurance through Mr. Gutierrez's place of employment?
I'm not entirely sure. I think not right away, but I think eventually he was insured through him for a while.
Is your child currently insured through Mr. Gutierrez's place of employment?
No, ma'am.
Do you know if Mr. Gutierrez has any additional children since the rendition of the prior court order in 2018?
To my understanding, he does not.
Do you know if he's currently working at the moment?
He is.
Is he working at a different job than he was working at in 2018?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know what type of work he did in 2018?
In 2018, he was working, if I'm not mistaken, as a salesman at Furniture Row.
A salesman for what?
Furniture Row, I'm sorry. Selling furniture.
Okay. And now, do you know where he's working?
He works at El Paso Paint Center.
And do you know how long he's worked at that job?
Oh, I don't remember, but it's been a little over a year, I believe, or more. But I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember exactly.
No further questions for this witness at this time. The state passes the witness.
All right, for the record, the court has received the updated financial report. And that report shows that as of the end of last month, Mr. Gutierrez was not in arrears in child support. He was actually in future pay. So the updated financial report will be admitted into evidence. Right, go ahead, Ms. Kaplan.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls Mr. Gutierrez.
All
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
He has been sworn in. Go ahead.
What is your name, sir?
Sergio Gutierrez.
And where do you work, sir?
I work at El Paso Paint Center.
And where were you working in 2018?
I was working it's called Furniture Row as a sales manager at the time.
And did you have insurance available for your child in 2018 at Furniture Row?
Yes.
And at your current job, do you have insurance available for your child?
Yes, that's the main of the case. I think hold was put on order to pause it because it was just way too expensive.
So if I understand you correctly, sir, the insurance available through your current employer is not affordable for you?
That is correct.
How much do you earn at your job?
Right now, before any deductions, child support, or anything like that, I'm looking about 1,000 every 2 weeks. more or less.
$1,000 every 2 weeks?
More or less without any deductions.
Do you have a standard hourly rate?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is that?
I believe it's going to be 14 an hour.
And do you work a 40-hour work week?
Yes, ma'am.
And how long have you worked at this job?
It's going to be 2 years in November. So about a year and 7 months.
And do you have any other children, sir?
No, ma'am.
No further questions for this witness at this time, Your Honor.
Okay. Any other evidence or testimony?
No other evidence or testimony from the state at this time, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Gutierrez, you testified that tell me again what your hourly rate is at your place of employment. You said $14.
Yes, Your Honor. Exactly. I'm looking at it. It's $13.75 hourly, and I am working the 40 hours a week. And the employment, it's called El Paso Paint Center.
So you're earning $13.75 an hour.
That's correct.
Do you have any overtime?
No, Your Honor.
Does your employer not provide any overtime?
They do not.
Do you know how much it would cost you to provide health insurance for your child in this case?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe we're looking around $470 to $500 a month.
And that's just for your child, for dependents?
It had to be me and my child. I could not just get my child in there.
Okay. All right, thank you, sir. I have no further questions for Mr. Gutierrez. Ms. Gasca, is David right now covered on, you said he was covered on Medicaid at this time?
Yes, Your Honor.
No other insurance is available either through your work or through any other source?
Not at the moment because I'm a full-time student right now. Anyway.
Okay. So you have no, you're not working right now, ma'am?
No, Your Honor.
And you don't have insurance available through any other source,
No, Your Honor.
such as a husband or a spouse or anybody else that can provide health insurance for your child?
Not at the moment, Your Honor.
Okay. Ma'am, do you have any other children who are covered on Medicaid?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am. All right. Any other questions for either party, Ms. Kaplan?
No, Your Honor.
All right. I will take note for the record that the previous child support order did order that Mr. Gutierrez provide the health insurance through his employer. Child support was set at $335 a month in child support at that time. Okay, what is the state's recommendation at this time?
Your Honor, based on $13.75 hourly and a 40-hour work week with no overtime and no other children, the state has calculated a guideline child support amount of $390 a month with a medical support amount of 107. The medical support of 107 is based on 4.5% of gross, and that is the state's recommendation at this time. All obligations to commence on October 1st of 2020, and the state is non-suiting its request for confirmation of arrears at this time.
All right. All right, Mr. Gutierrez, the state is recommending that and Ms. Gasca, the state is recommending that child support be modified to, from 300 and, what was it before? 335 in child support to $390 a month. And health insurance provided through the state insurance plan and medical support to be $107. Mr. Gutierrez, do you agree with their recommendation, sir?
Actually, not, Your Honor, because I believe I was making more, a lot more, on my previous job, and I kind of don't understand why it would go up.
Okay. Well, at the time, the reason I was set at 335 was because you were going to be providing health insurance for your child. And the cost of that health insurance was taken into account.
Okay, I understand. So this time
Okay.
I would not have to provide the insurance through my work.
That is correct. Well, that's the recommendation, sir, that I have to set it based on what the child is currently receiving in health insurance. And it's time, at this time, as you heard, the child is covered on state health insurance.
Okay, I understand.
So it is an increase. However, the health insurance is what's going to change. The child will be covered on health insurance through the state. That's the recommendation, sir.
I understand, Your Honor. That's the main reason that we wanted to change this agreement, because of the medical insurance.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the state's recommendation. Okay. Ms. Gasca, you heard the recommendation of the state with regard to the modification and the health insurance for the child. Are you in agreement with their recommendation, ma'am?
Well, if Mr. Gutierrez doesn't think he can afford that, I'm okay. I'm okay with whatever he's okay.
Okay. All right. Well, there's two options. We can either leave the child support that was previously ordered and then have the health insurance paid through the state insurance plan. What the state recommends and what the court usually sets is what we call the guideline amount, according to the Texas guidelines, child support guidelines. That the child support is based on his income, and one child before the court, 20% of his income. The only things that are taken off the gross income or taxes that we all have to pay, and cost of health insurance. If he had any other children, of course, that would factor in as well. So that's what we call the guideline amount, and the state is recommending that I set the child support based on the guideline amount. Now, parties can agree with that recommendation, or they can set a different amount. It's all depending on what's in the best interest of the child.
Okay, Your Honor. So I don't know if I'm understanding this correctly. So, right now the state is recommending for him to pay $390 a month for for medical, for health insurance. Sorry.
The child support, the recommendation is to modify the child support to $390 a month.
Okay.
And an additional $107 for the health insurance that the child presently has.
Okay. So I don't think he has a problem with the child support payment. Do you, Sergio? May I ask him that?
Well,
Please go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, do you have a
I can-
problem with
I mean,
that?
I would prefer to stay as it was, a child support, but if it's needed, then yes, I can do it.
You act well. That's more or less what you're paying now, no? A month for child support?
The child support right now And that order was set at 335.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And let me look at the order one time again. I'm looking at the order that was done. Hold on a second. Was there a modification of that order? Okay. According to the petition, the motion that was filed, the order of 2016, June. Let's see. Is the one that set child support at 335 and the medical support at that time. That's what the state is asking to modify at this time. So their recommendation, again, like I said, they're recommending the guideline amount of 390, which is an increase of what about $55 in child support and medical support of 107. Okay. That's where we stand at this time. That's their recommendation based on the guideline amounts. Parties can either agree with that or agree to set a different amount in either child support or, for example, you can agree to leave the child support as it is and just have more paid and switch the health insurance to the state insurance and set that medical support at 107. So you can leave it as it is and switch the medical and set medical support at 107, leave the child support at 335, or go amount.
Sorry, Your Honor. Yes, I would like that, what you just said right now. It just depends on Karina.
I'm okay with it. If you don't think you can do 390 a month, then we can leave it.
Okay, ma'am, I didn't mean to cut you off. Tell me again, just to be clear on the record, what it is that you're asking me today.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's because I was a little bit confused as to what was going on. The reason why I was a little bit confused was because I am receiving more or less that amount right now because I think he was paying off back support, if that's what it's called, like I guess amount he owed. So it is more or less what you're paying now, Sergio. But if you don't think you can do that, then 330 is okay.
Okay. And I think the reason that he was paying more was that for a time being, according to the financial report, there was a period of time that no child support was being paid, and that's why he fell behind. Okay, but as I'm looking at the new the updated financial report, it does look like Mr. Gutierrez has caught up with his payments. And right now they're deducting 195, 196.15. It's at every other week. Okay. He was behind, but he's caught up. And that's why the state is not asking to confirm any arrearage, because he's not in arrearage. So the only thing we're talking about is the 390 and the 107. Hey, Ms. Casca, it's your call at this time. Do you want to leave it as it is and switch the medical support to 107? Or follow the recommendation of the state, 390 in child support and 107 for the medical support?
I guess we can leave it as it is with the 107 medical support.
Okay. The current child support, Ms. Casca, is 335.
I understand.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for cutting you off. I was just going to say that I understand, Your Honor.
I just want to make clear as to what it is that you tell me, ma'am. Because I usually follow the recommendation. I said based on what the recommended guideline amount is.
For the state, I feel a little bit nervous, but if the best thing to do is to follow what the state is recommendation, then we can do that.
Okay. All right. All right, I am going to go ahead and follow the recommendation of the state, modified child support to $390 a month, medical support of 107. This will start October 1. The state has non-suited its request for confirmation of the arrears, so that issue is not being addressed at this time. Okay, that'll be the order of the court at this time. Ms. Kaplan, is there anything else that needs to be addressed?
Yes, Your Honor. Is the prior non-disclosure finding to be continued, Your Honor?
The prior non-disclosure was granted in the last order, so we'll continue that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else?
Nothing further from the state.
All right, Ms. Kaplan, we will go ahead and prepare the order, send it to me for my approval. I'll sign it. And once I sign it, it'll be filed with the clerk's office and copies will be sent to the parties. Mr. Gutierrez, I will tell you that if you're dissatisfied with my ruling here today, you do have the right to appeal my decision, or you have 3 days from today's date to file an appeal. The referring court in this case is the 383rd District Court. That's the Honorable Judge Mike Herrera. His courtroom is located on the courthouse on the 11th floor, the 383rd District Court. Okay, but you have 3 days from today's date to file an appeal.
Your Honor.
All right, that will conclude our hearing for today. I do appreciate you all being here today, participated in this hearing. That concludes our hearing. Parties are now excused. You can go ahead and sign off. Thank you all very much.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's see here. All right, I see Mr. Hargett.
Hello, Judge.
What happened to Ms. Marquez?
Just noticed that she
Breakout room?
maybe she was just
No.
here a minute ago. I didn't see.
No,
What happened?
not in the breakout room.
She went back to the breakout room.
No, she's not. Nobody's in the breakout room. Oh, okay, now, okay, apparently she's now in the waiting room. We go ahead and bring her in. Don't have an appearance for Mr. Lopez.
Okay, Judge.
Is there a default in this case?
Yes, Your Honor, I'd like to proceed on a default.
Okay. So if she joins us, we can go ahead and get started.
Yes, hello?
Yes, Ms. Marquez?
Yes, I'm sorry I got disconnected.
That's okay. Sometimes that does happen. I mean, I didn't do it. The computer. Okay. All right, let me go ahead and get started on this case then. The court is calling cause number, let me see, 2016 DCM 6349. This is a hearing on a motion to modify and to confirm child support arrearage. The parties in this case are Mr. David Lopez and Valerie Marquez. Let the record reflect that this matter was scheduled for a final hearing today, September 10th at 9 o'clock. It is now almost 10 o'clock. Only Ms. Marquez is appearing before me at this time. It does appear that Mr. Marquez was served back on February the 19th of this year. My name is Antonio Rodriguez. I'm the Associate Judge for the Title 40 Court here in El Paso, Texas. We are proceeding on this hearing here today based on a Zoom application since we cannot appear in court because of the pandemic. I am recording the evidence in this matter on the computer-generated system, so a record is being kept on this case. At this time that the case is being called, Mr. David Lopez has not appeared and has not filed a response to the petition. Is the state ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Marquez, are you ready to proceed at this time, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'll ask you to please raise your right hand so I can swear you in. Ms. Marquez, do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, ma'am. All right, Mr. Hargis, go ahead, sir.
State asks the court to take judicial notice of the service citation on Mr. Lopez on February 19, 2020, and the return of service on file.
All right. All right, the court will take the service documentation that has been filed in the system, which indicates that Mr. Lopez was properly served with citation back on February the 19th. Apparently at that time was served at the jail annex here in El Paso, Texas. That return has been on file for the requisite period of time, and it does be in proper form, so I will take judicial notice of the return of citation. Go ahead, sir.
Your Honor, the state asks the court to take judicial notice of the prior order entitled Order in Suit affecting the parent-child relationship, signed on September 27, 2016, setting child support at $220 a month beginning October 1st, 2016, and setting medical support at $100 a month beginning October 1st, 2016.
All right, the court will take judicial notice of the 2016 court order that set child support medical support as indicated. All right, go ahead.
The state offers what has been marked for identification purposes as State's Exhibit Number 1. It's an updated financial payment record in this case. And Ms. Marquez was shown a copy of this exhibit in the breakout room.
All right. I will take judicial notice of the updated financial report. All right, go ahead, sir.
And the state also offers what has been marked for identification purposes as State's Exhibit Number 2. It's a record of incarceration of Mr. Lopez, showing that he'll be incarcerated beyond the next 90 days. Ms. Marquez was also shown a copy of this exhibit, and the state can email it to the court if that would please the court.
That's fine, Mr. Hargis. You can go ahead and send me that documentation. And pending receipt of that, I will take judicial notice of the Texas offender report. All right, go ahead.
Okay. The state calls Miss Marquez. Please state your full name for the court.
Yes, Valerie Arlene Marcus.
What's the name of your child
Divinity Lopez,
and your child's date of birth?
7/23/2015.
Who's the father?
David Lopez.
Okay, where is the father located right now?
I believe he's incarcerated.
When did he go into, when did he become incarcerated?
To my understanding, February of last year.
Of 2019?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you know of any sources of income Mr. Lopez may have, such as like retirement income, rental income, things of that nature?
No, sir. Not that I know of. Not anything.
Okay. Has Mr. Lopez given you any direct payments
No, sir. None at all.
for child support?
No.
Okay. Do you recall being shown a copy of the updated financial payment record?
Yes, sir.
And is that payment record an accurate accounting of the payments that you received from Mr. Lopez?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Are you currently employed?
Yes, sir, I am.
Do you have health insurance available for your employer?
Yes, we do. I currently don't have them under it, but I can look into that.
Okay. Do you know how much it costs?
Not at the moment, sir. No.
How is the child currently, what health insurance does the child currently have?
She's currently under Medicaid.
Do you have health insurance available through any other source?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay, I want to make sure, do you have any health insurance available through any other source for the child?
No, I don't. Just the Medicaid.
Okay. If the order of the court required you to disclose your address and personal information on the order, would subject you to any type of harassment, harm, serious harm, injury?
I'm sorry, you were breaking out, sir. I did not understand your question.
If the order disclosed your address and personal information, would that subject you to any type of harassment, harm, injury?
Yes, sir, I believe so. I would like my information to be private.
What has happened before that would make you believe that you would be
Um,
subjected to that treatment?
He's just a very violent person, and there was instances where we had to switch on. I had to pick up my daughter, and he got into my face and was calling me a lot of names and was slamming my car door. So I had to drive to the police station and let them know what was going on. And he has been, when we were in a relationship, he was physical abusive towards me.
And when did the latest occurrence happen?
I would say sometime last year before he was incarcerated. That exact incident where I had to drive to the police station, and he did follow me as well. And I let them know what was going on, and I had to have a police drive around my home because I thought he would show up at my home.
Thank you. Your Honor, further questions? State rest subject to a brief close and recommendation.
All right, go ahead. State's recommendation on this matter.
Based on the incarceration of Mr. Lopez beyond 90 days, the state request a finding there's been a material and substantial change in the circumstances since the prior order was signed, and that you set child support, the current child support and current medical support to 0, and a finding of non-disclosure for Ms. Marquez. Also, to confirm the child support arrearages amount as of August 31st, 2020, in the amount of $6,247.64, with a payment plan to pay off those arrearages in the amount of $81 a month. And also confirm the medical support arrearage amount as of August 31st, 2020, in the amount of $3,177.91, with a payment plan to pay off those arrearages in the amount of $66 a month. All payments beginning October 1st, 2020.
All right, the court will follow the recommendations modifying child support to 0 and medical support to 0. At this time, since Mr. Marquez has been incarcerated, I'm sorry, Mr. Lopez has been incarcerated during that time period, and is provided for in the Texas Family Code, a finding of incarceration, like the child support based on that finding, to 0 child support and 0 medical support. Now, Ms. Marquez, at such time as Mr. Lopez is released from custody, we can modify and set child support at that time. Under the law, we do have to set child support and medical support at 0. However, the court will confirm the arrearages in child support and medical support as stated on the record, and the payments that are being recommended on the record will be approved by the court. These payments on the arrearages commence on October 1st. Based on the testimony today, I will enter an order that any of Ms. Marquez's information is not to be disclosed in the court order. So your information, ma'am, will not be included. Your information such as the address, telephone numbers, and things of that nature will not be disclosed in the court order. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Is there anything else, Mr. Hargis? We need.
One other thing, well, two other things. If we can, all right, the court go ahead and continue the government medical assistance that was already ordered from the prior order, just continue that into the new order.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
To continue the government medical assistance from the prior order, continue it on to this order.
Yes, sir.
And then if it'd be all right, if Ms. Marquez would allow me to submit the order directly to the court without her review, now that we have everything recited or on the record, if it'd be all right if I just submit it directly to the court.
That's fine with the court, Mr. Hargis, because it is on the record and everything. So go ahead and submit it directly to the court. Once I do receive the order, I will sign it. It will be sent to the parties once it's filed and with the clerk's office. Okay.
Okay.
Is there anything else, Mr. Hargis?
No, Your Honor, I believe that takes care of everything.
Ms. Marquez, do you have any questions or anything else that you need to tell me?
No, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your help, Mr. Hargis.
You're welcome, Ms. Marquez.
Yes, sir. All right, thank you. That will conclude our hearing for today. Ms. Marquez, you're free to go, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye-bye.